This policy position proves that this is not about having more babies. It's about having.
So we're looking at population collapse worldwide on the world graph, and that is because of women's narcissism. So women have become pretentious brats, and they're too smug to make babies now. You gave them birth control. What happens when you give women power? Well, like the Stanford prison experiment, they tend to abuse their power. So when you give women birth control, they want to be celebrity hookers. Okay, they don't want to be mothers. That's your baseline. Hey, now you know the truth about women. They don't actually want to be mothers, they want to be famous, and they want money. Right? And why is that? Because the government socially engineered them to care more about money than family continuity, right? So you have to start a new country. Basically, women don't want to make babies because Donald Trump is the president, and nobody considers him a legitimate leader. He was never actually the president in Generation X because we started a new country during the Obama administration. How the boomers can suffocate the voice of all younger generations, it really makes us want to have more babies, doesn't it? So if you don't even know what country you're living in, why would you want to make babies if you're two nations behind and Donald Trump is instigating World War III like Joe Biden, right? While champion himself as a peace president, right? So you have boomers who are liars, who are making war instead of peace, who are making the Department of War while they make the Board of Peace. So they're phony. Trump is a phony leader. Okay? He is a celebrity narcissist, a wealth narcissist, just like women, and a sexual narcissist, right? In the Epstein files, he's raping underage girls, right? So that's your leader today, okay? Focus on the new leader. I'm your new leader. Quit focusing on the pedophile rapist who's compromised by a foreign government starting World War III all the time. Hey, women don't want to make babies if Donald Trump is starting World War III all the time, if Joe Biden is starting World War III all the time, and all of DC is ran by Israel, who are psychopaths who don't care about Americans. Hey, look, if Israel is roasting Malibu and Lahaina just like they bulldozed Gaza so they can have beachfront property, do you think women want to make babies in that world? Right? The police are blocking people in Hawaii to burn to death with their roadblocks. Do you think women want to make babies in a world like that? Let's say your child was walking down the street listening to headphones and a cop blew them away because they didn't adhere to their commands. We've seen it on video. Do you want to be that mother? So you have to end America because the cops don't know basic rights. They don't know the right to life from the Declaration of Independence. The president doesn't know his job. He doesn't know the right to life from the Declaration of Independence. The Supreme Court doesn't know the right to life. The governor doesn't know the right to life. None of these people know their job. All Americans are batshit psychopaths who don't know anything about America. Right? Why would they care about morality? Notice how they all use sardonic mockery. Every American is condescending. Every American is making fun of you. Do you want to be born into a world of greedy psychopaths who don't care about you? Look, my parents wanted me to be homeless, right? After trying to charge me rent, after trying to make my wife and I buy a house for quadruple what they got it for. So our parents were greedy, evil fuckers. Look, all the boomers are psychopaths. Do you want to be born into their world? If you have a child, it's by mistake, okay? And you know, the millennials and everyone younger than Generation X also feels bullied by the boomers, right? And so they can't afford a house. Corporations are buying up all the houses and the real estate, so no one can afford one, right? So you have to topple America like I did 12 years ago. You have to get ignored and made fun of by all society. Hey, they're all psychopaths. That's what they do. They make fun of their leader. So make fun of me, everybody. Give me more attention so human life can actually matter, since it hasn't for the last 2.5 centuries, right? You were never supposed to have lethal force, abortion, or execution in the United States. Okay? Why do you have those things? Because psychopaths run America. Okay? They don't know anything about America. They just want to run it. Okay? Look, if Israel is starving people in Gaza, and then you see a veteran trying to feed the homeless and they shut it down, do you want to be born into that world where you can't even feed the homeless because psychopaths said, hey, they might not be starving? So it's all about women's narcissism. They're too smug for any man, right? They're too smug for even the best man. So hypergamy is a myth, right? They're just looking to garner your resources as an opportunist, like Spinoza argued, right? So women care more about money than family or morality, just like the boomers. So the boomers raised these women. Now we have to unraise them, since the boomers are psychopaths who don't care about their children or the future, right? We have to get women to quit caring so much about their celebrity status. Look, if you've got nothing to say, your thirst trap shouldn't be more important than the world's most important person in world history, right? You have to get the boomers to quit being martial narcissists. So I lead every military to end war. How come you haven't heard about it? Because there's billions in the boomer generation towards World War III. They want to make that happen. They want to make all the 18-year-olds go die for them so they can get more money, right? So, yeah, right. Most of this revolves around women going to college. What happens? Well, they trade motherhood for an education. Did anyone educate them how to be good girlfriends, good wives, good mothers? No. So they're all disrespectful, right? What happened? The Rockefellers funded women's liberation. So that was not an organic movement led by women. Men wanted women out of the house so there'd be more taxpayers. It's in the documentary Freedom to Fascism, right? So that's the problem. Now you're trying to have trad-con relationships again, and those are obsolete because of the proximity effect. What is he talking about? Well, if you have that loyal man who's providing for his family and he goes to work every day, well, statistically, it's somebody at work your partner cheats with. So it's not good that you're apart as a couple during the day. Okay, let's say your loyal, perfect stay-at-home mom is raising the kids at home, but she's taken out by a burglar and her life is ended. You were not there to protect her in the moment. So trad-con relationships are obsolete. That's old hat. Now I talk about the proximity effect. You're supposed to be with your women in the moment, work the same job together, do everything together. Oh, that's toxic, right? Well, that's what the masculine feminist is going to say, because they've never had a healthy relationship in their entire life. So what happens in Mouse Utopia to create population collapse? Well, all the incels, the 96% of men that become incels by dating statistics, well, they eventually maraud and take out all the family mice. Don't forget the law against mating, they call it rape.